Hello everybody, this is Michelle Greenman live, and you know it's live because we are 7 minutes late. So I hope you're all having a really good day today. My husband is videotaping me today, or cameraing me today, in front of our Gordon. He actually built these boxes, pretty nifty. No excuses, no matter where you live, you can grow your own little garden, even if it's only in a very small area. So today, I'm kind of excited. We are doing the first part of our training, Ready, Set, Get Active, which is about prioritizing. I think one of the biggest drawbacks for people as far as getting active is to be able to actually have time to do it. A lot of us are just like, we're busy, we don't have time. We're so busy, we don't have time. So today we're going to be talking about how to prioritize that time. So this is going to be live. I really want you to listen. There's going to be a resource that will be step by step, and you could do this on your own. I'm going to run through it. If you're watching this recorded, though, you could pause at the appropriate times to do the actual things. So I'm actually going to be putting together a couple of trainings that I've personally gotten before. Some of the training that I've gotten have really improved my life, so I'd love to share them with you. The one that's particularly I'm going to be doing today is partly from Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and his son wrote a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, where my mom gave to me, I was probably about 14 when she gave it to me. And I really loved the book because it allowed me to really think of my life differently. I really am now a big believer in working on your life, not just in your life, and being able to really plan what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. So the information I'm sharing today based on that is a lot of the times we do things because they are urgent. And so he puts all of our kind of things in our lives in these 4 quadrants. One quadrant is urgent, one quadrant is important, the other quadrant is something that needs to happen right now, and something that can happen in the future. Oh, important, unimportant, urgent, not urgent. So a lot of the things that we have to do to work on our business are very, very important, but not urgent. Okay, so these are our priorities. These are, making sure we spend time with our moms, making sure we take our kids to the park, stuff like that. Where, you can pretty much do it any day, but it's definitely something that's important to you. It's part of your value system. The problem is we spend a lot of time doing the things that are unimportant, but they're urgent. This is the phone rings. This is, somebody stops by the house to chat about nothing. This is emails, right? Stuff that shows up, pops up. Oh, we feel like we need to do it now because we feel like it's not going to take that much time. But it steals a lot of our time. So it really taught me that we need to be looking at doing the things that are important and urgent first, the things that are important and not urgent second, then the things that are urgent but not important. And so when you get to really good business training, and there's been some people that I've been following for my business, they really teach you the fact that you should be leaving your email to the end of the day, and that's something I think that changes people's way to look at what's important and what's not important, what's urgent and not important. That email is going to be there at the end of the day. Now, some of that email might seem very, very urgent, but leaving it till the end of the day lets you to deal with things that are more important and hopefully more urgent. Sometimes they feel less urgent, but they're definitely more important in the long run. And so having that understanding is going to be really, really instrumental and for you to be able to find time to work out. Because working out is hugely important. It makes a huge difference with your productivity. It makes a difference with how you think. It makes a difference in how you're able to do everything. And in the long run, how well you're able to do it. And so while it's very, very important, for a lot of people it's not very urgent because they feel they can do it at any time. But understanding that those things are more important than taking a phone call, going to the beach with your friends, checking email, to really change the way you look at your life so that you can do the things that have the most value to you, and then do the things that are kind of, they're good, they're fine, they make your life complete, but they're just not as important. So that's first and foremost. Second, I went through this, it was religious training on getting out of the cities, and one of the first ones that the first course that he did was about prioritizing your life, and the fact that for lots of us, we get so busy doing stuff, even though we don't, I don't know, we feel like we have to, we feel like it's a requirement, we feel like, you know, if we weren't doing it, what would we be doing? And so really to be able to prioritize is our lesson for today. But I thought the two went together. Doing things that are really important, even if they're unurgent, is more important than doing things that are very urgent but unimportant. Okay, so if you can stop spending time with email and you can go for a walk, that is far better, because you can always check the email after, but you can't always go for the walk after. So I'm going to run you through this exercise on prioritizing, and it's going to teach you how to carve out some time to really focus on you and your health instead of everybody else's very important, very urgent stuff that they want you to do. So first and foremost is to look at your life and to recognize if it is under control or not under control. So a life that is under control means that you're calm most of the time, you're not really stressed, you understand what's going to happen next, you know what you want to do, you know what steps to take, and you're taking them. It kind of works like a well-oiled machine. A life that is not under control is when you are feeling stressed all the time, you feel like you're running around all the time, you feel like everything is just too much for you, you're doing lots of things, but you're not getting much out of it. Okay, so that's first and foremost. So on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being completely out of control and 10 being completely under control, is to rate your own life. Is your life under control or is it out of control? So take a second to do that. I'm going to try to think of that for myself. I don't know, I would say probably about a 7. You know, there's a lot of things that I'm doing because they're important. There's a lot of things that I want to be able to accomplish. And there's a lot of things I have put in place to make sure it runs, but it's not quite where I want it to be. So if you're super, super, super stressed, right, you'd probably be going on the lower side of 5. If you're not feeling very stressed, you'd be on the higher side of 5. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Step number one is to take inventory, to list your responsibilities, list your values, list what's important to you. So this could be devotional time, this could be school if you're a student, this is definitely work if you're a professional. If you have children, this is going to be their things that you do. If you have a husband or a wife, these are going to be their things that they do that include you, be it date night, be it their outings or events that they have to be at. If you go to church, that's going to be a responsibility you're going to put down. If you are part of a league, if you're part of a club or you're part of a group, all of the duties that go along with that, those are responsibilities that you want to put down. Sports groups, same thing, put that down. What else is kind of things that people do that they're responsible for? Parents, if you're taking care of them, that takes a lot of your time, put that down. People that you're role modeling to. Anyway, write down all of the things that you do that are important for you to do. So pause, take a second, write all those things down, and make sure not to leave any of them out. They are all taking part of your time, even if they're fantastically important, even if they're completely unimportant. If they're taking up your time, they're a responsibility of yours. If it's running a website, if it's checking the email, if it's going to the post office, things that you have to do that somebody else is not doing. So that's first and foremost that you're spending time with. Now, hopefully, exercise is on that list already. But I believe for a lot of us ladies, exercise is nowhere close to that list. We're not really stopping to take time to really focus on our body and keeping ourselves healthy. Number 2 is to prioritize that list. So this is where you go in and you write, you can rearrange the items. I was thinking you can write numbers towards them. That's one way of doing it. But you can rearrange the items in order of importance. Which one is most important? Which one accomplishes one of your most core values and which doesn't. So for a lot of people, their core value is family. And so having family be on that list, all the family things are going to be one of the highest things on that list. For a lot of people, their careers are very, very important, and so that will be on the list. I think for a lot of us, we really want our relationship with God and our religious kind of involvement to be number one, but it's usually not. So be honest about that. Look at what the list is and look at what the list should be, and really decide, okay, well, which part do I really want? But you want to be able to prioritize them. And, you should take time doing this. This is not something to do in 5 seconds. Take as long as you need to really look at what's important and how should I be doing this. So step number 3 is to arrange a time for each item. Okay? So sometimes it's really good to assign, it says like a weekly time value, since some of these don't happen every day. So if like once a week you check the mail, for example, or twice a week you go grocery shopping, but it takes like 2 hours, right, to assign that kind of time. So just go through all of them and write the time. What are you actually doing at that time? How long does it actually take to accomplish? When are you actually doing it? Number 4 is to evaluate this list and actually do the math. Now, this is where the real kind of eye-opening happens. Most people have more things to do than they have time in a week. That's the problem. So it's not that you don't have enough time, it's that you've filled a lot of that time up and you filled even more time than you have. And to really look at that, do I actually have time to do all of these things? If the answer is no, fantastic. Now we've really gotten into an opportunity to carve out some time for you to really spend doing the things that are important. If your answer is yes, fantastic, right? It's going to be easy to fit exercise in and to really be active and to really put in your health as a priority. But you want to really look at it and look at being honest. Do I have enough time to actually accomplish all the things that are important to me that I have on this list, especially just the priorities? So step number 5 is to do the adjustments. And this is kind of like the homework part of this, is if you are, I'm trying to think, my mom, she was a single mom, so she went to work every day, which was, 8 hours was normal, 10 to 12 hours was overtime. She was the treasurer at our church. She was also education coordinator sometimes at our church. She also had a daughter that she had to hang out with and friends that called her and wanted to spend time talking to her, but then she had all the housework to take care of as well. And realistically, she should have gone through this exercise and to decide, I really don't have time to be treasurer, or I really don't have time to be education coordinator, and I really love it and it's important, but in the long run, I don't have time to do it. And somebody who has more time, that might be a better job for them. Even though I love it, I have time to conference with them, I have time to consult them maybe once a month or once a week, but I really don't have the 12 hours it takes to do treasury work every single week. And so this is a point where we get to do the real homework. We get to make the real big decisions. This is where priority happens. If being physically active is really, really important to you, but you've been spending 10 hours a week watching television, it's time for you to let the hatchet fall. What is the priority in your life? Is the priority watching people be healthy and happy, or is the priority for you to be healthy and happy? Let the hatchet fall and be able to cut it out. Some of the things, it's going to be difficult because people have been depending on you for a long time to drive your kids to the games, or people have been depending on you for a very, very long time to be there every time that they want to call you, no matter what. But part of this is to work on your life, not just in your life. It's your life. You want to make sure that at the end of it, you don't look back with regrets. You want to make sure that at the end of it, you don't look back and say, I'm sick because I never spent any time being healthy. I'm sick because I never tried to do the things that I knew I needed to do. I kept putting them off because answering a phone call was more important, or, going out to the pub was more important to be with my friends, or going grocery shopping with this girl that I just met because she was really cute is really important, or this guy, you know, he was really into sports, so I spent more time with him. You want to be able to look back on your life and be like, I spent some time with him, but I was healthy in the long run. I was happy in the long run. And so this is hatchet time. Hatchet time. Hatchet time. It sounds like I'm saying hammer time. So, number 6 is to plan an actual schedule where all of these things can work. So a weekly schedule can be really good, and sometimes it will be longer than a weekly schedule, but to really blot out these times. Like, I love having my iPhone because I think I always wanted to have this, something that I could carry with me, something that I can make adjustments really quickly. And if you have an iPod or an iPhone or an iPad, these are really easy because you can use the calendar and you can just use your finger and move the things around and add things and do all these things. Now, if you have an Android or something, I'm sure you have a calendar program there. How kind of why your life is out of control. If at the very, very beginning you found that your life is out of control, make a schedule and you'll start to see what's pulling you away from having more control. You'll start to see the times that you dropped everything to do something else that was really, really urgent but not important. You'll start to see the times that you spent on email, the time you spent watching television, the time you spent listening to the radio, the time you spent doing things that kind of made you feel a little bit better, but they were distractions from the things that really are going to give you power and comfort and real value to your life. And you'll be able to recognize some of these things just aren't important. I think one thing to look at, to remember when we look at other people's lives, especially the people we see on TV, is a lot of those people don't watch TV. A lot of those people, they're not going out all the time. They're in the gym most of the day. A lot of those people, you know, they're not doing the things that the people on TV are doing. And for us to kind of bring ourselves away from that, if we want to have the lives that we want, we have to work on these lives. We have to plan them out. We have to figure out what's important, and then we have to do them. So that's our priority. So this is step number 1 in Ready, Set, Get Active, is to figure out how you're going to carve time in your day to exercise. This first week of Ready, Set, Get Active, all I need is 5 to 10 minutes for you to get started. And so everybody hopefully can 5 to 10 minutes. But if you're somebody who would say, no, I don't have 5 to 10 minutes, now you have a way to find that time and to really make that a priority. So this is Michelle Greenman Live. It's been a fantastic, fantastic day. You can see it's very sunny here. I hope you're enjoying your time. And we will see you next week. Experience Wellness.